Well, Foxdie, it's a bad thing because he'll never feel the need to adapt to his opponent. Also, he can't really do that with the character that's not Cammy. I mean, here's the idea. Offline, I could say, no, you're not allowed to use that normal at that spacing because I can punish it. Online, you can't. How do you make someone think I can't use that move? Like, this is a test, guys. How do you make someone think I can't use that move?
I'll put the picture up on the State of Trance Facebook, facebook.com/stateoftrance official. And Philip Baum from Germany had a cool quote: "Listening to trance is like being tipsy. You want to share your good mood with all your beloved ones." Nice one, Phil.
Then, Faith, you're one step ahead of me. You tell them you're not allowed to use that move because you're like, okay, I know the counter to that move. I can beat that normal with the whiff punish. I can punish that block Shoryu with a full punish. I can do A against B, okay? There's a counter for everything. So if I think you're going to do A, I'm going to do B. But here's the idea. After I counter it a few times, a human being will say, he's too smart, I can't do that. Now, online, you can't do that. Online, you cannot play psychology because you cannot discourage your opponent actively. So here's the idea. It's okay to play a character that doesn't give a fuck. And it's okay to not play a character like that, but to not give a fuck anyway in your game plan. That's okay. What's not okay is to say that your opponent doesn't matter. That's what's not okay. See the Zangief player? He's just gonna hit buttons. Like, I could just hit stand fierce. And he's gonna get hit by it. Like, he doesn't care that I'm hitting fierces. He seems to think that this wall of normals is gonna help him win something. Like, this is a wall of normals. Like, I mean, and it's designed to beat people who hit the wrong buttons, but like, I know my stand fierce beats all of that. So notice how I hit him with like 8 stand fierces, but he kept doing it? It's one of two things. He's stupid and doesn't know that my stand fierce beats his stuff and he still hasn't learned, or he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And if he doesn't care, then we're not playing a game. He's playing a single player game against an opponent named Juicebox who's a computer. And when you have a human playing against the computer, that means that the result is like predetermined. There will be no adaptation. There will be no changes. How are you supposed to beat someone who you don't adapt around if they know how to counter you? The problem with online is there's so many characters and so many people of so many different skill levels. 99% of the matches you come across is people who suck and can't counter you, so you learn matchups the wrong way. Like, you play Balrog, I'm gonna back up and do random turn punches and do light dash punches and it's gonna work, and I'm gonna do crouch jab or throw, and that's it. That's not Balrog. That's not how Balrog works, and that's not how you play Street Fighter. But it works online, because online nobody gives a fuck. To figure out that your Fierce beat out what he was doing, do you train against all his moves or mostly his specials? No, Foxdie, I just try to understand the hitboxes of my normals. Where does your normal hit, and where can you be hit? Think of it that way. Where does it hit, and where can you be hit? Yoon, when he hits Fierce Punch, his front foot comes forward, but unless Zangief attacks me low, my fist is going to be in front of my hittable box. So he could jump, of course, he could jump, but he's not going to do that, because he's a button-pressing Zangief. Hurricane, don't give me that. I don't care where you live. Being good at Street Fighter is the same no matter where you live. If you don't have competition, that sucks. Get some. I know, I'm sorry. But you can't say, well, I live here so I can't be good. Well, do you want to be good? Put some effort. I'm not saying you have to move, but at least try to get some good players on your online. Try to only play matches where the lag doesn't affect it. Try to only play players where you can tell that they're thinking. Try stuff. Don't give me an excuse, and don't play randoms, and don't play ranked either. Play in a way that will make you improve. And if you got no one to play against and you want to get better, well, one of those things has to change. Yeah, I just knocked online. Online is trash. I'm trying to learn things. You don't try to win online, you try to learn. So that when you go to an offline tournament, you can use it. That's what it's for. Your win-loss record, your points, none of it means shit. I mean, in a nutshell, the problem with online is that it'll help you get to an intermediate level, but once you get to an intermediate level, it stops being useful as far as a bastion of knowledge, and it starts only being useful in certain parts. I mean, think about this guile. If you want to beat Dominion, doesn't matter how many online guiles you come across, this won't help. But here's the idea. You can watch Dominion play videos. You can watch his videos, and you can compare it to this guile. But unless you are really, really good at dissecting the game, do you really understand what makes Dominion a better guile if you've never played against a good guile? It's like real martial arts. You have to feel it. You can't just see it and understand it. You have to feel it. You have to put yourself in the match. You have to feel the feelings that you have during a real match. You have to feel what your hands are like, what your shoulders are moving like, how your breathing is, what your brain is doing. Everything about that is different when you're playing a good or a bad player. You won't have any of those similar experiences. Not to mention you're sitting on a comfy couch in your underwear. Hope you like this! Ah, big bitch! Sarai Dengeki, you're a skateboard now. Taka taka ta, dance on your head. You big blue freak! You just had to ruin our skate park, didn't you? Woo! Big yellow flashy thing, I'm scared. Yacht? Yacht? Oh, hey! Yo, get agent! Hey, 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 hey! Ah. No, Foxdie, you've got quite a lot to learn if you don't know that. Let me put it this way, Foxdie. Foxdie, how do you beat someone who's mashing... Don't answer this question, people. Please, I'm going to ask Foxdie a question. Do not answer it for him, please. It is very important that he thinks about this and then I get an honest answer from him. I need to test his knowledge. This is why schools do tests, to see what they have to teach you. Foxdie, how do you beat someone who mashes on crouch tech without a Shoryu? I'm not asking what technique can be used. I'm not asking what in the manual says. What I'm asking you is, what do you do to beat someone who mashes crouch tech? What do you do in your personal experience? Honestly, you mashed back. Alright, well, Fox Die, what if I told you that every single character in the game, if you use the right normals, you can blow up anyone who uses a crouch tech every single time they use it, and all you have to do is time your button presses right. I mean, here's the idea. You know how when you block a Shoryu, you get a guaranteed punish? You know how when, let's put it this way. When you block a Shoryu, you get a guaranteed punish? You know how when time runs out, somebody wins? Well, surefire, there is a way to always beat a crouch tech. It's a part of the game, and it's a system you can learn. And it has to do with the frame data and how big of a hole you leave your opponent. Okay? I will show you. Well, yes, you modify your timing CNPRR, but what does that mean? How do you take that sentence and then say, I'm going to go frame trap somebody? What are you going to do? You can't take that sentence and then do it. You have to understand exactly how a frame trap works and how to apply it. And so I shall show you. This is how Street Fighter 4 works, by the way. Okay, so, here's how it works. While you're crouching, in order to take a throw, you have to hit both punch and kick, right? But if you do this while you're not in block stun, you get a crouching light kick. Okay?
You're almost at the end of this edition of A State of Trance. Please don't forget to leave.
So here's what's going on.
Episode 556. Go to astateoftrance.com and click future favorite right after this episode. I also had an exclusive interview with Nick from
If I time this button press correctly, I take the throw, right?
entire interview. Check astateoftrance.com for the YouTube link.
This will work every time, right?
I'd like to leave you with
Well, here's the idea. I'm going to do the exact input. Okay? Or you know what? Let's do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. Let me set this up. I have to do this a certain way.
A track that I've been playing a lot when it was just released. A beautiful remix by Mike as a classic this week. So send your suggestions for a classic to armin@astateoftrance.com and please try to find one that we haven't been playing before. Armin@astateoftrance.com.
Okay? I told the dummy to do a cross up, and then a jab, and then throw. Okay? Assuming he's in range for the throw, this will work all the time. Hold on. Okay? But here's the idea. To take a throw... stop it. This is very important, okay? To take a throw crouching, you have to hit both buttons. But if you're not currently in block stun when you hit those buttons, you get a crouching light kick. If you try to take a throw standing, you get a throw if you're not in block stun, right? So what's important here is that you don't always get a throw tech every time you hit these buttons. Something happens when you press them if you are not in block stun. Some of you who are good at deduction probably know where I'm going with this. Okay? But here's the idea. If I want to tech any throw whatsoever, I have to hit buttons. And I have to hit buttons in such a way that if I were not in block stun, I would not be blocking for a split second. A standing throw takes 3/60ths of a second to come out. Meaning, when I press these buttons, 1/60th of a second afterwards, I'm not blocking. 2/60ths of a second later, I'm not blocking. 3rd 60th, the throw happens. Let's say I hit both punch and kick while crouching. It depends on the startup of your crouching light kick. In Adon's case, I think it's 3 or 4. Let's just say it's 3. If I hit those buttons when I'm not blocking, 1 frame, you can be hit. 2 frames, you can be hit. 3rd frame, the crouching light kick comes out. So no matter how I press these buttons, no matter what, if I'm not in block stun, there are at least 2 frames that I can be hit. At least. Okay? So, all you have to do is look at your frame data, and you have to say, how do I leave a hole that is exactly 1 or 2 frames large, that lets the block stun end, but doesn't give them enough time to tech a throw standing, or to hit a crouching jab, or a crouching light kick, or what have you. By the way, 3 frames are the fastest normals in the game. Balrog's jab, Shoto jab. There are no 1 or 2 frame moves, save for particular ultras and command grabs. Okay? So, the idea is, if you think they're going to hit a button, if you leave a hole that is 1 or 2 frames before they hit that button, you'll hit them. Now, let me show you what I would do. I'm going to set this dummy to do a similar setup here. Ah, come on, man. Well, more or less, that's correct. Although if you do this perfectly, you should get a counter hit. Okay. I'm doing it too slow. God damn it. Okay, straight fire. If I set the dummy to crouch tech, I don't have a frame perfect understanding of when he's hitting those buttons. That's why. And if I tell him to mash, then you won't see anything. You'll just see a computer mashing a light kick. I'm trying to show you via very, very clean demonstration how a frame trap will always work. I just have to get my input right. But standing medium kick would probably be a better one. Thank you for that. I needed that. Bam! Finally. So here's the idea, guys. If I try to do a crouching tech right here, after the crouching jab, the hole between the crouching jab and the close medium kick is small enough that the block stun ends. However, large enough, small enough that my crouching light kick does not come out. I'm hitting a tech after the crouching light punch. Come on. Oh god. So here's the idea. Right now, I can't tech after 1 jab. If I tech after 1 jab... Oh, damn it. You see, and here's the idea. I just did that. That means the hole is at least 3 frames, I think. Let me try that one more time. Oh, you know what? It might be perfect. Hold on. Okay, so it's not quite perfect. I have to re-record this. But the idea is, if you set a perfect frame trap with the dummy, if you set a perfect frame trap, you cannot standing or crouching tech. You cannot. It's impossible. You'll get hit. Every time, 100% of the time. So what you need to do is learn how to frame trap like that. You need to learn how to leave very, very tiny holes so that they can't tech at that moment in time. Okay? And what happens is, once they realize, if they realize, that they cannot tech at that moment in time, then you can throw them at that moment in time, because they'll stop hitting buttons. That's the idea. That's the mix-up. Now, there is another aspect to it. If there's a hole of any amount of time, then I could shore you, of course. Because keep in mind, even though my Rising Jaguar is slower than 3 frames, it's invincible on startup. So, if I have any amount of time to exit block stun, it'll just go through the next move. But this is the actual mix-up game, guys. It's not about mashing crouch tech and then getting lucky. It's about saying, I'm going to go for a frame trap because I think you're going to tech. Or I'm going to tech because I think you're going to throw. Or I'm going to shore you because I think you're going to frame trap. Or I'm going to block because I think you're going to shore you. You see? It's not get up close and both of you mash a throw or a crouch tech until one of you gets lucky, which is most of online. It's about saying, I'm going to frame trap you all day so you cannot tech. Then I'm going to attempt to throw you. Do you know when the throw is coming? Will you block the frame traps? The other thing about frame traps is more often than not, they lead to counter hits. Counter hits give you more frame advantage. Okay? They give you more frame advantage than the normal hit. That close medium kick gives more advantage on hit than one that on normal hit. Okay? So that enables new combos. Off of that, Adon can actually combo his crouching medium kick from his close medium kick, but only on counter hit. Okay? So if I frame trap you enough and you try to tech a throw which doesn't come, not only do I get a combo, I get a better damage, more difficult combo than I would before, all because you decided to tech a throw. Okay? And that's the idea. You can pick two normals such that the hole is only 1 or 2 frames, meaning that no crouching or standing attempt to tech the throw, if it were to be at that moment, will not work ever. It will be impossible. They have to block, or they have to shore you. Those are their options. Now they could backdash too, because backdash is invincible in this game, but hopefully you can see the backdash. Maybe you can punish it. Maybe you just should have thrown, etc. This is the mix-up game. This is hard with Adon. You know what? It's really easy with Ryu. Ryu has a built-in one.
Analog sound department. Mike Coughlin. A new Giuseppe Ottaviani with Betsy Larkin, and also a cool new Simon Patterson. What's more, Michael Dow, Protoculture.
CNPR, Adon has absolutely no chains. All of his jabs and shorts are linked. For reference, a chain is when you can mash a button and it will still come out. Like, I could define chain for you, but it's not going to do you much good. A chain is just when you can press the button with reckless abandon and you will still get the button a lot because the button comes out again during the recovery of the previous one. Okay, a chain by definition. God damn it, guys. Okay, so here's the idea. Here's this crouching light kick, right? Crouching light kick is chainable. What I mean by that is you can hit another crouching light kick before the recovery frames are done. You cannot do this with Adon's crouching light punch or his light kick. Every single time he does a crouching light punch, the recovery frames must completely finish before he can do another one. Okay? Ryu's crouching light punch and his crouching light kick are chainable in that you do not have to let the recovery completely finish before you can do another one. Notice that a target combo allows you to chain normals that are not light. Wait, who am I talking to? Oh, come on. Come on, Low Strong. You can do it, Ryu. Now please be a frame trap. Be a real one. Here we go. Here's the idea. I cannot... I'm going to try to stand tech this one. I should get hit. Bam! There we go. Here's the idea, guys. If you just hold back, you'll stand block it, right? So how am I going to get hit here standing? I'll tell you how. Because he's hitting me on frame 1 or 2 of the startup of the standing throw. 100% of the time, every time. Assuming I press my buttons correctly and do it correctly out of block stun. Alright? If I time my tech too late, though, I'll just block. Okay? But if I try to do a crouching tech, that too, I could get blown up. It depends on when I press my buttons. Ow, fuck! Okay, so here's the idea. I can't tech a throw here. I can't tech it standing. I can't tech it crouching. I can't tech at all. I only have one option. I have to shore you through it. Not only do I have to shore you through it, but I have to shore you after a jab. Okay? What if he just does this? What if he just does that? Well, how are you going to know when to Shoryu? I'll tell you. You can't. You have to guess. You have to pick a spot where you think a frame trap or a throw is going to happen, and you have to say, I'm going to guess here. That's what has to happen. Because if you try to just tech every opportunity, they're going to counter hit you at some point. If they understand what's going on. 99% of online players don't. Herp derp. Okay? So he can make it such that after I block a jab, I cannot crouch tech. Okay? So, Fox Die. Tons of mix-ups naturally arise from this. This is the emergent gameplay of Street Fighter. How you start as a beginner is I'm going to do a jab, and then I'm going to throw. Okay? So this Black Ryu player says I'm going to block one jab, and then I'm going to crouch tech. So I say, I'm going to do one jab, and then I'm going to frame trap you so you cannot tech there. Okay? You can't tech there. It's not going to work. So, you might say, okay, I'm not going to tech there. I'm going to backdash, or I'm going to Shoryu. And then what I could say is, I'm just going to do one crouch jab, and then nothing. And if you backdash, I'll react to it with a trip. And if you Shoryu, I'll block it, and get a full punish. Now here's what happens. And now the Black Ryu player says, okay, you do nothing, I'm going to block one jab, and then I'm going to crouch tech. And then I made you block it, and then I have offensive advantage again. Do you understand all of that, Fox Die? Do you understand the full round-robin mix-up that could happen anytime you block any normal in Street Fighter 4? Okay? This doesn't hinge on guessing. It hinges on your ability to predict your opponent's next move. If you think he's going to tech, you should go for a frame trap. If you think he's not going to tech, you should go for a throw. If you think he's going to tech a little late, you should time your crouch medium punch a little late. Okay? You ever wonder why Ryu players do this? Jab, jab, crouch medium kick? Do you know why they do that? Because they know that you're scared of teching right away. They know that you tech a little late. So they'll just do their attack a little late. They'll go 1, 2, That's all it is. If I know you're going to hit a button a little later, then I'll hit my button a little later. That's it. I know exactly when you want to leave block stun, so I'll just hit that button. Done. And so here's the idea, Fox Die. Are you thinking about all this every single time someone's in your face? Because if you're not playing Street Fighter 4. You're playing I'm going to get in their face and guess Fighter 4. As opposed to I'm going to get in their face and try a very, very specific sequence of events such that I can try to predict what their next move will be if I get enough results from them over the course of a round. That's Street Fighter 4. Or should I say, that's all fighting games, and how the fighting games deal with it is different. King of Fighters has this exact same thing, but there's slight differences in how you can hit someone coming out of block stun that makes it different, and in my opinion, a little better. Yeah, Kool-Aid, that's not as fun, but it's the truth. This is Street Fighter 4. So, you can play for fun if you want, but someone who's playing to win is going to hit you with frame traps, and you have to say, I'm not going to tech right there. I'm not saying you have to play to win, but I do have to say that if you lose, you should probably understand why it's happening. Yeah, you go on autopilot. That's the problem, okay? You don't ever want to go on autopilot against an opponent who is your equal or better. You want to try to outthink them. Because if you go on autopilot, neither your win nor your loss has any meaning. If you go on autopilot, you would have beaten them anyway, or you would have lost anyway. How about you try to learn from your opponent over the course of a match and say, you know what, this Cammy player likes to do jab, jab, throw. This Cammy player loves to do jab, jab, throw. So I'm going to do this. After I block 2 jabs, I'm going to do a Shoryu. Or better yet, here's what I'm going to do. After I block 2 jabs, I'm going to crouch tech. And I'm going to do this 3 times. And then, on the 4th time, when they come up and say, I'm going to frame trap you, boom! I say, I know you're going for a frame trap. I'm going to go for the uppercut. Because I conditioned you. Because I knew that you were getting tired of me teching your shit after 2 jabs. Just because you're in block stun doesn't mean you're not setting an expectation. Think about that. If I do jab throw, and he keeps teching him, I'm like, this motherfucker keeps teching my throws. At some point, I gotta do something different or the timer will run out, right? At some point, right? I'm gonna frame trap now. Shoryuken. Black Ryu wins. Because he said at some point he's gonna get tired of his throws getting teched. I'm gonna hit him at that point. Because I know how to beat frame traps. I think I have an idea of when he wants to go for it. So at that moment where I think he's gonna go for it, I'm gonna go for it. You see what I'm saying, guys? Every single time you are in your opponent's face and a normal gets blocked, this frame trap, possible throw tech, possible late frame trap, possible re-jump into a reset of the situation, possible back up into a frame trap, every single time any normal is blocked ever at any range, at close range, this whole thing is going on. Do you have the brain power to keep up with it? To keep up with Daigo, as he says, I'm going to do 1 jab throw, 2 jabs throw, 2 jabs hesitate, 1 jab hesitate, 1 jab throw, as he mixes up between tons and tons and tons of different options. You have 3 crouching jabs here. Ryu has tons of options off this. He could go 1 throw, he could do 1 standing short, hesitate, he could do crouch short, crouch jab, he could do crouch short, stand jab, he could do crouch short, crouch strong, which is another frame trap he could do. He could do crouch short, crouch roundhouse. I mean, think about all these combinations of buttons that you never see. All you see are people doing jab throw, or jab jab throw, or jab 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 forward. Because people online are stupid. Or, more specifically, because that was judgmental of me, because people online don't understand the game. There are online players who get all this. But do you understand this? Do you understand what's happening as it's happening? Do the people you're playing against understand what's happening as it's happening? How will you beat someone at EVO if you can't beat someone online who's mashing throw tech and you don't understand how to beat it? Okay? It's all knowledge. It's all it is. Just knowledge. All you have to do is look it up and ask someone, and eventually someone would have told you the same stuff I would have told you right now. At some point... Oh, come on. Come on, Fierce Shoryu. Crouch Fierce, Light Shoryu, Super Ultra. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Ah, come on. Oh, I'm missing my link. Shinku Haruken. Shinku. Ah, I missed it. Well, Monster Hands, I don't give a crap about online throw tech. I'm talking about throw tech in general. This throw tech will not work online or off. If I set that dummy the right way, it will not work, because online will simply put input delay in front of my normals, but the difference between the jab and the strong is still the exact same hole. Now, if it drops one of my inputs, then yeah, that's a problem. But what I'm saying is online or off, doesn't matter. You cannot tech between these if the Ryu times the jab and the strong perfectly. This has to be timed right. If you time the strong just a frame too late, they could probably stay and throw you. Okay, you have to time this perfectly. Go to training mode and see if you can set the dummy. Okay, just like I was doing. See if you can set the dummy to do this, and then play him back and try to tech a throw in the middle. Try. If you get counter hit every time you crouch tech, and if every time you try to stand tech you get hit, then guess what? That's a fucking tight frame trap. It can't be thrown no matter what. You can mash it. Mash it. Not gonna work. You see? I'll show you a frame trap with Jury. It ain't hard. Jury has a 3-frame normal. That's really awesome for frame traps. But it's not a jab. Even more awesome. CNPR, every single one of my streams is archived. You're welcome to watch it again later. In fact, if someone could just like cut this up and put that frame trap lesson on YouTube, that'd be great. But start with Ryu. Dude, don't show him the Adon crap. That was bad. Oh god. Watch this frame trap. Oh, it hit him. Oh wow, he can do a combo. I like how he knows how to option select, and he knows how to safe jump, but he doesn't know how to play fucking footsies. Street Fighter 4, ladies and gentlemen. Learn the advanced shit before you learn the basics. Street Fighter 4.